Hey, this is Chris with Shutter 16 Magazine.
Yeah, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for joining me here today.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, thank you.
So, you and Devin Allman have a brand new EP out, and you guys are embarking on this crazy tour. So tell us, first of all, a little bit about how it all came together. Did the EP come first, or the idea for the tour?
You know, I did a couple of his Allman Family Revival things, where that's where I met him, on the Allman Family Revival, and we hit it off really well. And then I ended up doing a few other shows with him, and while I was doing those, he's like, "Hey man, I got this crazy idea. You're 50 years old, I'm 50 years old. Would you ever want to do a tour next year where we do all 50 states in 50, but we got to do it in 49 days to break a world record?" And I was like, holy shit. Okay, well, fuck it. Let's go for it. And then while we're on the Allman Family Revival shows this past year, it was like November, December, I said, hey, Devin, why don't we just try to every afternoon sit and, like, even if we come up with one song, but maybe we'll come up with enough to do an EP, because I thought it'd be really cool to have like a soundtrack that could go along with the tour.
Yeah.
And so we came up with enough songs to have an EP, and like it was just ironic. Luther Dickinson was on that tour as well, and he's like, dude, get me in. I want to fucking produce it. And I'm like, oh my God, perfect. And so we ended up with these 6 songs, and they're like, sort of the soundtrack of like what's going to happen on, on this tour. We're going to see it all, and we're going to be these writers, and it's just on that song, Calling All You Writers and all these things, we kind of had a theme of like, that's why we called it Rollers, because we're going to be rolling all over America. And so it was fun to have music. It was fun to be able to put this tour together. And so now it's just a matter of like, can we pull it off,
Is this the first time that you and Devin were writing together?
Yeah, first time ever. First time collaborating together. First time writing together. This will be the first time we've ever tried to do something like this ever.
What was the process like? You guys said you just kind of got together and tried to hash out some songs?
Yeah, it was like in the afternoons after sound check or before sound check, on the Allman Family Revival tour. And, I'd be like, hey, what do you think of this song? And, he'd throw some lyrics around. And then we, as we were kind of finishing that tour, we ended up going to St. Louis for 3 days and just cutting the 6 songs and, tightening it all up over the 3 to 4 weeks following that. Like he'd be in the studio or I'd go in, or, so it was sort of a really cool collaboration on a lot of levels. It was really fun to be a part of, like writing the songs with him and recording them. And I don't know, it's nice when you do a project like this with somebody, because it's it's one thing to just go out and do a tour and then try to explain to his fans and my fans, like, hey, look, he's not opening for me and I'm not opening for him. Like, I'm bringing part of my band, he's bringing part of his band, and we're doing a set together. And so it was really nice to have new songs as well, because obviously I'm going to play some of my favorites and then some of his favorites from his catalog, but it's now nice to have like at least 6 songs in the set that we can like play from the EP.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really like the opening track, Calling All You Riders, because that kind of sets the tone, I think, for like this whole adventure with that whole Wild West kind of old Western feel to it.
Yeah.
Did you come up with that one, or was that one Devin?
That was Devin. He wrote that song, and it was like sort of the theme of, like you were saying, like, I mean, this is how I'm feeling, this is like where it's going. And so that was really fun when we came up with that tune. It was like really fit the project well.
And See It All, that's the the name of the song on the EP, but also kind of the name of the tour. And It really is, you guys are going to see it all, doing 50 states in 49 days. So are you doing anything specific to prepare for the tour? Because it's going to be just like crazy.
Not really. I just don't think about it too much. It's interesting. I've been touring for like over 25 years. And the guy that I've been with, who's been my bass player and whatnot, we've done 30, 35, 40 shows in a row. And so we're kind of well rehearsed in this whole thing. When you get to gig 30, when you're like around gig 30, it gets a little daunting. It gets a little crazy. You start to kind of, your mind starts to kind of waver a little bit, because you're doing the same thing every single night. But, what I told my buddy is that those shows were a little bit different, because, we would do 7 concerts in Florida, and then we'd go up and do like South Carolina, North Carolina. Like, this is going to be a little fucking brutal, because it's like 50 gigs in 49 days, but it's in all the different states. So like the traveling, some of these travel dates that we have are like double and triple overdrives, because like the bus just can't get there in time. And
right.
So it's like going to be nuts. And so that's going to be the difference, I think, that we're covering so much fucking ground and then flying to Alaska, flying to Hawaii. And it's like, I feel like we're going to be able to pull this off and we're going to be able to make it happen no matter what. But the two, sort of caveat gigs are like Alaska and Hawaii, because we're flying.
Right.
If we get to Alaska, and like I just heard today, like I don't know if it's true, but the FAA is like, oh, there's going to be delays into Washington because fucking the air traffic control systems haven't. I don't know what the problem is, but everybody's going 5G, and the 5G networks are starting to like fuck up the air traffic controllers networks because they're not switching over. Or, I don't know, but they're saying get ready for major delays, and I'm just like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be such a bummer, to go to Alaska and be like, sorry, those planes didn't make it here. You're not leaving. And then that's like day 39. And like,
yeah, you're at the mercy of the whole airline industry then. And
yeah, it'll be a bummer to like miss the gig and then miss the making of the fucking world record because the flights weren't available, because Devin and I basically have to do these shows together every night. And I told Devin, like, bro, if we're in the mainland of America and something happens, we're renting a car. It's plane, trains, and automobiles. Grab your acoustic. You know what I mean? We're going no matter what. We can't fuck this up. We have to pull this off. So, it'll be an adventure. It's going to be one for the record books for sure.
Absolutely. Now, I know you've toured like everywhere, but is there a certain part of the country that you've never been able to tour in yet?
Not really. I think I played all the states. I've even been to Alaska. I live in Hawaii, so I've been there. We've played all the states in the mainland, but, I've never done it like this.
Absolutely. Is there a certain stop on this tour that you're most looking forward to?
Yeah, the very last one at Beach Life Ranch, the 50th gig.
Just because it's the end, or because it's at Beach Life Ranch?
Both. There's a lot of really great friends that are going to be there that day. Like Bahamas are playing, Jack Johnson, the Ebbett Brothers. Like, it's a huge festival on the beach in Hermosa, and it's like that's going to be a crazy celebratory day with champagne if we pull it off, so hopefully we pull it off. I mean, we were kind of thinking, where are we going to end it, and I was like, fuck, we should end it at this festival because everybody's going to be there. Maybe we can get some sit-ins, we can get some jams, and it'll be like a fucking, like a cool vibe. And instead of just like, oh, we ended the gig and wherever, and it just didn't matter. So this, hopefully we're all there celebrating and not like, I can't believe we missed the 38th gig.
Well, I'll have my fingers crossed that the airline gods are with you guys this summer.
Yeah, right. I know. I hope so.
And then, you mentioned maybe you get some cool sit-ins at the festival or anything, and that's something kind of, that the Allman Family Revival's open to. You never know who might pop in on a certain date or a certain stop on the tour. So might we see some of that happening during this tour?
I hope so. I mean, we have great openers every week. We have new openers, and so the openers will definitely sit in with us. And if anybody's around, I know between me and Devin, we have so many friends that we'll definitely, if anybody's around, we're always up for a jam.
Awesome. And you guys are going to play, I'm assuming, the whole EP, and then some of your stuff, some of his stuff, and mix it up.
We'll do the whole EP, and then pick probably 3 of my songs out of my catalog, and probably 3 of his. And so, it'll be a 12-song, set, with a lot of jamming, and it's a big band, and so everybody will be taking solos and just having fun and stretching songs out, and, because that's the other thing too, is that which I've had to tell Devin, because those guys are used to doing 2-3 hour sets. I said, hey man, we're doing 75 minutes every night, playing 50 shows in a row, so let's keep it cool. We're contracted for 75 minutes, and he was like, what, 75 minutes? That's like,
nothing.
It goes by quick, but it's like, hey, when you're doing that many gigs in a row, it adds up fast. So
yeah, and even the first day of the tour, you're going to be in 2 different states to kick it off. So you've got to do 2 shows in one day.
Yeah, 2 shows, 2 different states. Yeah, on the first day. That's just so we can pull it off in 49 days.
Right. Well, there's no better way, I guess, of kicking it off than with 2, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, here we go. We're going to go for it.
Are you working on any new solo material right now? Might we?
I am. It's funny. I'm going into the studio today. I'm almost done with my new album. It's going to be finished by the end of the year, and I'm going to put it out like the first quarter of next year. It's going to be 10 brand new songs, and I'm really excited about it because for the last 5 years, I've been just kind of running the gamut of like people telling me, oh, put out singles and put out EPs and put out, so I haven't put out a record in probably 7 years. So this is my first record I've had out in a while. So I'm excited. It's a lot of really great new songs, and it's going to be fun to have new material out.
Absolutely. We'll look forward to that too. So that'll be coming sometime next year.
Yeah, early part of next year, definitely like February or March.
Okay, cool. And then maybe you'll be hopping on some tour dates after that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. We're going to book a whole, we're going to go up and hit it hard next year with the new album.
That sounds awesome. So, it's pretty cool that you and Devin are doing this, the Rollers EP and the See It All America tour, because when you think of just musicians who are just always on the road and just doing their thing, you guys are some that come to mind. Not everybody does this. They do their big corporate world tour or whatever, and then they go and they take a couple years off. But you guys are always out there playing, and as fans, we love to come out and see the shows, and the way you both keep it real out there is appreciated.
Yeah, it means a lot. Without the fans letting us, wanting us to come out and play, it's interesting. We're just at that place where, you got a friggin' tour, to make a living in the music industry. You can't just put out records and hope that people are going to stream your stuff, So I just feel lucky I'm able to tour all over the world and bring the music to the people. It's one thing that I think that we, appreciate more than anything else. I love playing live, and, this is one way to do it. It's going to be something I've never done, something Devin's never done. And the whole band, nobody I know has ever done it. So this is it. We're going to go for it.
Awesome. Well, I hope everything goes well with the tour. I hope the airlines run smooth. I hope the bus is just perfect and you don't have to do the planes, trains, and automobiles thing. But I have faith you will get it done.
I hope so. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for talking with us today.